welcome to another episode of Up and Under. I'm Jean Villas.
And I'm Anton Taylor.
Another cracking weekend of rugby here in Cape Town. DHL Newlands faithful were treated to some spectacular rugby.
Well, there are a lot of things to take from it, and one of the things I was most happy about was the depth we're showing in our fly halves. You know, Robert Dupree started the season really well. Very unfortunate to get injured. Kurt Coleman then got injured. But then Jean-Luc du Plessis, the son of Carl, stepping up, playing amazingly. And now Brandon Thompson, the youngster, I mean, he got a pedigree playing for South Africa under 21 and under 18. But he really played well, and I'm very happy about that.
Where are we finding these fly-halves? I mean, four great fly-halves, sort of world-class fly-halves that could probably step up and play Springbok anytime soon.
Yeah.
Jean-Luc really sort of showing that Argentinian flair and really risky player. And then Brendan Thompson coming through and being so clinical, finishing it off in that last 20 minutes.
Well, I think somewhere in Cape Town there's a fly-half factory, which Robbie Fleck isn't telling the rest of South Africa about. But the one thing that it also revealed was how strong our bench is. And we've really turned the tables from the substitute coming on to replace the injured player to now making it an impact role.
Exactly, but not just an impact player, someone that can finish the game off. Someone in that last 20 minutes, a lot of South African teams have been battling in the last 20 minutes of every game. They sort of slowed down and try and defend a lead, where the DHL Stormers this year have just been spectacular. That last 20 minutes, scoring the tries where needed, and the bench have really showed. I mean, BMT all the way.
Well, when you got the likes of Skalk Burger coming off the bench, it shows the riches, the wealth of substitutes that you have. JD Schikkerling coming as well for Ulstad, really playing well. And it was those 20 minutes, those remaining 20 minutes, where we saw those 23 unanswered points getting given from the Stormers. And it really revealed a very strong aspect of the Stormers play.
I mean, the Vodacom Super Rugby season is a super long one, and you've really got to have depth in your squad. To have a bench that strong, you can pick them in the starting lineup anytime.
And there were some wonderful tries. I mean, the first try, Kobus van Wyk, look, maybe everything didn't go as planned.
A little bit here and there, a little bit lucky. He finished the try off. That's what we need. We need them to finish the tries off. He's a winger. That's what he does.
I was worried when he cut his hair, it might be like Samson losing his powers, but definitely showed that wasn't the case. And then their other wing, Zas, scoring a try which would normally be expected of a prop, barging through the opposition scrum half and hooker.
I mean, showing that upper arm strength, really doing good work in the gym and pre-season and stuff. I mean, he's been criticized a little bit for not being aggressive enough, not finishing tries off, and he's really stepped up in these last couple of games and being shown, you know what, I've got the strength, I've got the determination and the aggression to be a world-class winger.
Well, another smallish player who really also showed digging deep for the try was Groomy on his 50th, bit of an edgy start. He almost crawled. I don't think the guy got, higher than about a few feet off the ground.
It's difficult to tackle someone that's sort of on the floor, a couple of centimeters off the floor. I don't know how you tackle him unless you fall on top of him.
That is a very good job. It's a good strategy. Maybe you employ it.
Stay a couple of centimeters off the ground and score tries under the pole.
And then somewhat bigger players, and saving the best for last, was that amazing run from Hugh Jones. I was so happy. The hoots had been blown. A lesser team may have opted to kick it out, but the boys wanted the try. And then how was that offload to Vincent?
That little casual pop pass and then that run. I mean, from a sort of a flanker last week, stepping all around the Lions players, Siya Kolisi, teaching them how to do the dance moves out on the field. And then here we go, Vincent Koch doing the step and finishing it off, and you could see the joy in his face. So I don't know if he was more happy scoring the try or just that little inside-outside step.
Well, I think Cheslin Colby's been teaching him how to dance. They've been having dance classes after hours.
Well, we scored some great tries this past weekend, and there were some cracking tries in the Vodacom Super Rugby. Let's take a look at them.
Well, how's this for a cracker? The scrummy kicks it ahead, and Vulindlu fields it, catches it, and then still has quite a bit to do. He took it off Skazan and crosses over for a great try for the Kings.
Well, getting the ball through the hands there, the Lions sniffing half gap there. Combran going through a little half gap there, picking this gap between the two forwards there, and seeing that they might not be able to get to him. Running down the line and then finishing off a great team try, we must say, by the Lions.
Well, this try, the angle and the way in which it was cut, the kind of thing rugby coaches dream of. Carpenter smashing through there. He's got the man bun there. Maybe that's helping him with some aerodynamic pace.
Well, the New Zealand teams just have something special. I mean, Fonatia making that run through their little line break and then popping it off to the big man, Nodolo. How does he do it every time? Times his pass to perfection and then coming back, popping it over there to the man who's on his comeback, second game for the Crusaders, and finishing off a magical team try.
Well, an absolute blinder from the Chiefs. Tamani Valu making the break, getting a lot of ground, passing it to Pulu. Pulu had a lot of work to do, and then quite unselfishly giving it back to Tamani Valu, who crosses over. They sort of jumped over each other, and a wonderful try in the corner.
Lovely interplay here. Barrett starting this try off, popping it off to his lock partner. A little bit of interplay between forwards and backs, and then the great support play, getting it back from his lock and scoring the try.
Well, a real bit of individual brilliance by Reece Hodge. I mean, he runs into space, beats the opposition player, then steps. I mean, he outran Rule and Peterson, with the gas, and he's a very big man. Looks a bit like a lock. He crosses over for a really, really great individual try.
Beast mode! While the nuggety little Kings player here, Chris Klute running down the sideline, showing a bit of pace and strength here. And then second week in a row, the Lions fly off Elton Yankees. Sorry for him, there's no space on that bus.
Well, here's a bit of a double beast mode. Firstly, the one-handed picker from Avili, outrageous set of skills. He gives it to Cody Taylor. Wonderful run, wonderful surname, bounces the opposition player and crosses over in the corner.
Well, you know what, in that same game, Scott Fardy running up and thinking he's going to get a bit of beast mode there on Matt Todd, but Matt Todd tackling the ball and stealing it away from him.
Well, playing for the Rebels, Tamati Ellison, beast mode, fending off Fenter, but he is a New Zealander and showing why the offload after contact is so important, completing the pass after that fend, which then led to a try.
You know what, some lovely beast mode moments this past weekend, but the ultimate beast mode must be going to the men from Japan. The Sunwolves picking up their first victory, a historic moment for the Japanese players. And you know what, coming off tour, 92 points loss against the Cheetahs in Bloemfontein, it wasn't looking good for them. How did they turn this one around?
Well, I'm just so happy for them, I have to say. I mean, Tokyo was an absolute vibe. It's been really good to see the introduction into Vodacom Super Rugby and how well they've been doing. And the Jaguars have been very competitive. They've been losing, but not by many points. And I don't think many people saw this Sunwolves victory coming. I'm a bit surprised that the Jaguars haven't been playing a bit better. They have 13 players that were in the semi-finals of the World Cup last year. But I guess it could just be attributed to passion, I think. I mean, the Sunwolves after that victory were just, you could see how much it meant to them.
Well, historic victory and many more to come probably for the men from Japan now that they've got that first one under the belt, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, it was a great weekend, and like you say, a lot more to come, and we'll be seeing you then. I am Anton Taylor.
Jean Villas, and it's been a lovely week of Up and Under.